Rolling? Alright, Raylan. Yeah, everybody wants to cut every corner, but the fastest way is if you can line up outside and then kind of cut through, as opposed to pinching the inside and snipping through, you know? You can roll all the corner speed. Which is why I like outside passing, because like the only way I'm going to pass you is if I'm rolling all the extra speed on the outside. Alright, let's do it. Have to have fun with Daddy Killer. See, you're not a daddy, so it'd be nice to you. Do what? Yeah, I pulled it in. It's in neutral. I got something for it. Whoever wants to go. What's up?
Turn one.
Yeah.
When you come down, I'm in third. You're in
Second. Even on that bike, I am anyway. But go ahead. It's all right.
maybe I'm on top of two then. Why not?
Going into turn one, I mean, I'll pin it coming into it at 3, and then I'll drop it to second right before I brake.
Be right before turn one?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, I mean, when I leave here, I normally start most of these bikes, I'll start off in second gear.
that's one?
No, I'm just saying when I leave, yeah, one is that first bottom.
Yeah, that's
So what I'll do is, I'll leave here in second, and now by the time I get to that corner, I'm third, roll through there, drop down to second again to kind of tuck into the field, and then I go back up to third, and then I drop back down to second right when I'm tipping down into turn one.
okay, so you go through turn 1 and 2.
I'm in second, yeah. Almost every corner here, I'm in second when I go in the corner. No matter what I came from. Even when I go in turn 3 here,
I feel like it's something gonna come out from under me though.
that's the thing. When you're on the limit now, you don't have, in other words, you get forgiveness. If you're one of those people who are really heavy with the throttle, ham-fisted a bit, you're better off a gear higher, because even though you're ham-fisting it, the torque isn't, it's gonna build up again. When you're on the limit though, you want the instantaneous power. And then again, it's all about throttle control. This is traction control. And to be honest, the little trick that I do, and it takes some getting used to, because you'll lock the rear up and you'll probably slide out a lot more than you want, is I'll actually hold the rear brake down just a little bit, but that's my traction control. So even as I'm going here, if I get a little too happy with it, I can kind of just bleed the rear as I feel what it's doing. I can bleed it when I know that traction's better and better and better. Like out of turn 2, I do it every time. I drag the rear, and when I come up on this bike, I pin every gear, but I'll pin the top of 3 coming over the rise, and the front end just kind of goes, and my foot's still on the rear brake, and that's the only thing that keeps it from all the way going up. But that way I don't have to get out of the gas. I can still hold throttle. But in turn 1, absolutely, second gear. Every turn. Second gear, second gear, second gear. The only one that I'm not entering is turn 4, which I also call tunnel turn, because it's kind of coming through the trees. And so I'm in third, because I come out of 3, I'm in second, right? And then I come up to third, I short shift to third, and as I'm coming around the corner, I'm still in third. And when I flick it back right, coming downhill, I drop it to second. And the only reason I wait until that last minute to do it is because if I don't, when I brake coming down, I use the engine braking big time coming down there, because the bike you're going off camber, so the bike's constantly sliding. You'll see the biggest slides going there, because I'm like, come on, grip, 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 grip. So I'll wait late so I can kind of get the back end to kind of drag itself, and boom, 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 and it kind of slows me down just a little bit, and then I'm back on the throttle to come through 6, but I'm in second gear, 6, 6, second, and I basically. And I'm quick flicking, and I'm braking and gassing every single time. So when I go into 6, when you first go to the right, I'm like, brake, real quick, flick it back left, a little bit of gas, just a touch, back hard on the brake. It's only like a 5-foot stretch. It's boom, and brake again, flick it to the right. And that's when I came on the side of you, that's all I did. Because when I brake it, I pinch it down to a point, and again, the other key point is obviously your eyes need to be up, right, all the time. Way up, not like here. Like by the time I go to this corner, I'm already seeing, and in my head I already know that there's a little bit of a trench, and that next little, and I already know based on what's going on whether I'm gonna be far left, far right. I don't ever want to be center if I can prevent it, right? But again, eyes up. So when I'm coming out of 6, 6A or whatever, coming out towards 7, when I pinch down, all I'm looking for is as soon as my eyes are picking up track, I'm already on the throttle. As soon as I brake, I'm already on the throttle. My head's already up the track. I'm already looking towards where the deer stand is up here in this corner.
Like the red area, it's kind of like a more of a grassy area on the right hand, on the inside of it.
On the very inside.
If I can grab on that grass,
you got some traction.
I can go ahead and go.
I try to, if on this bike, I can try to outpace you through there. Granted, you still can get me if you pin it, but you don't have to pin it. And right now, I'll tell you, I know you won't pin it as far as I will, because I don't have a problem sliding in all that mud when I come into 7. Like, I'll brake as late as possible, and I don't have a problem when the front end, every time I come in 7, I try to get the front end to move. In other words, when I go into 7, I brake hard enough to what I feel, and as I'm sneaking up to it, right? I'm braking, 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 and I can see how it changes, so I know where it's kind of more slick. And as it gets slick, I turn the wheel, so it can actually slide that way, because it allows me to continue to pivot the rear and go that way. I don't recommend that, but I know because I'm willing to do that. So my point to you is, I know that I'm willing to do that. So when I go out of 6A, kind of come out of 7, that grass patch that you're looking for, I can care less about it. Now, because I know I'm willing to make it up on 7. If I have to, I'll go find traction. And to be honest, the best traction I find is real wide. What you'll do is, I see you drift wide, and then you kind of pinch back in. But by then, when you unload, the back end's out here and the front end's here. And then by the time you gather it up, as you saw on the last one, that's what I'm trying to make up time on the inside of you, right? Because I know you're going to lose traction because you're willing to whack it wide open, but now you're waiting for the thing to stop spinning. Forget that. I'm trying to stand the bike up as soon as possible. So again, these elbows, when I go in the corner, every corner, you'll see me boom, boom, but all I'm doing is, as I'm transitioning, I'm trying to snap the bike back up, because you can get 100% of that throttle to the back tire. Even if it's spinning a little bit, I can get more planted on the center of the tire than the edge. So you come out the corner, you're offloading, you're spinning on the edge, and then as you pick it up, and you know it because as you hooks up, that's when the front end starts to go, right? As you're doing that, I'm already up on the fat part and trying to get down to 7, right? If you're on that grass patch, it'll help you. My point is not the big problem. The bigger problem is getting the bike stood up so it doesn't spin it and throw all that out there and kind of get you back.
The best way to stand the bike up is keep your elbows out.
Got to. You got to get those elbows out and you snap the bike back up. Elbows out, back up. The elbows are just making the bike turn. If you're out your elbow out, you're going in a corner, and I go a lot sharper into a corner. You'll see me, and the bike leans a lot more. It's only because my elbow's up. If I drop my elbow, the bike all of a sudden stand back up. Like, to get the bike on the edge of the tire, I mean, just sit like this and pick your elbow up. What's the bike do? Try to push the bike the other way. That's the key. When I go in the corner, I want the bike, I want to feel like when you got it right, you're actually sitting on the side of the bike. That seam there, again, you're up and down. So if you're leaning the bike to pretty much where its maximum is, I'm sitting like this, almost on the side of the bike. And then when I'm coming through the corner though, I'm feeding throttle, and as I'm feeding, I'm pushing with my leg to stand it back up and pulling. And as I'm standing it back up, I'll feel it because the traction comes up and the front end gets light. And as it does it, I know when I can pin it. You're just feeding it. The throttle is just as finesse as the brake, right? It's throttle control. So you're doing this, I'm gripping, 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 gripping. But as I'm doing it, when it starts to slide and get squirrely, it's more like a rheostat. You're starting to play with it a little bit and catch it, and then you can get to a point where you pin it. If you just blow it out, I mean, all you're doing is throwing all the traction behind you, and you're losing time. So, grass patch helps, but it ain't gonna make up a big difference. Let's roll. Have fun, man. Let's roll. Oh, you guys do something bigger, huh? And you guys do something smaller, huh? Again, you'll learn a lot. Those tires look mighty clean. Out of gas, Daddy. Think you flooded. Keep going. I was just watching you guys.